sort everything by the name because when you recorded it, each clip has like a number to it, I guess, depending on what camera you're using. But you want it to be in that chronological order so that when you put it inside software, you can sort the thing by name. And then when you drag it over it, it'll lay down all the clips in the same order. So, like in the order that you shot it, basically, when you drag it across. So next thing you want to do is go to the sequence settings and you want to put the frames on 24 frames. And then for this video size, you want to do 1080 by 1920. That's like the vertical version, like phone size, Instagram size, real size, if you would call it. And then from there, you want to go to the clips. And then this is what you do to rotate all the clips at once. So you go to the effects, controls, then you do the rotation you want on one clip. And then you also shrink the video to the size to make it fit the clip, and then you take that you've done for that one clip and you want to essentially copy it and then paste it across all the clips. Then you'll see every single clip rotate and be in the size that you want it. This saves you time from individually doing it across each clip. Then you just scroll through to make sure that it's fitting and it's right. Then after that, you can go through each of the clips and you can start cutting them down. What I usually do is look for specific clips that I shot, stuff that I like just things that I've seen. This is really up to your own creative control. I can't tell you exactly how to choose the clips you want, but throughout praise and worship and throughout service, there's certain things that you see that you just may like, that you know for a fact you want in a video. So just be a little bit strategic there. All right, so right here I want to talk to you about the audio piece, right? And this is usually when somebody's talking or there's an interview. Usually after church we go for like a one-on-one interview type of vibe with people, and then you insert like what they said into the reel. But in this case, because church was like an interactive service at the beginning, people were able to answer back and give their thoughts on the past week's sermon. So in this case, there's only one person talking, so it didn't take too much editing of the sound. I didn't have to do any background removal of noise. I literally just went to the effects tab for essential sound, and I put on I put on an effect called enhancing the sound, which it just cleans up the audio, make sure that the person talking is clean to hear and good to go. In some cases, if the volume's a little bit too low, you can increase the gain or increase the volume. But other than that, it's pretty simple there. Then after I chopped it up and edited the sound piece, what I usually do is I look for the places where I believe they're saying things that are similar or that can be mixed up. And then now, like, I mix up the people's audio. So I may have half as one person talking, then it jumps into another person and back to that person because it sounds like it all goes together. So just kind of finding the common ground within the editing piece of the audio. And from there, you can I save this piece of the audio portion, people talking, and I usually just put it at the end put it at the end, keep it there until I finish editing. Then when it's time to come back and insert it into the actual clips, I lay it over at the part of the video where I want it to start. Then I start chopping it up and aligning it with the video. So I make sure that the video lines up to being about a minute and 5 seconds or a minute and 10 seconds, somewhere in that range. And then once I lay the audio piece on top, I cut out pieces of the audio and let it jump back and forth between what I already edited so that I won't have to like find a way to incorporate the clips in perfectly because you can just have it jump between the person talking and whatever you overlaid within the reel already. And then once I do that, I go into the transcriptions. I do the caption sequence track, throw that on there, and then it automatically does it for you. But I always go through to make sure that all the words also fit what the person actually said. Another thing I don't like to do is have multiple lines of word on the screen. So I try to max it out at about two lines of words, and if it goes over that, then I'll just split it in half and try to align it with the video. But it usually does that by itself. And then also in the meantime, I also throw an audio track under there. Song selection is your choice. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but I try to find a gospel song that I like or I may feel fits the moment. If you do listen to gospel music, it's a plus because you can think of multiple choices of songs that fit the vibe based off of what you edited. But I usually don't add a song until like I'm almost done editing so I can get the feel. Then once I do that, I go back and try to align it and make sure that the videos are kind of on beat, clips up perfectly. Start throwing transitions on there. I also grab the Light City logo and the Light City Church Sunday recap. I throw it on there at the beginning. I like to go the Light City Sunday service recap first, then I jump to the logo, then I put it in, and then from there we have transitions going through. Generally with the transitions, I like to put them after like every anytime I put a logo on the screen, as well as every time I jump between two scenes that seem too drastically different from each other. Like if you go from one shot to another shot that feel far off from each other, I think you can place your transition there. I also try to keep it uniform. Like I would never have like 4 or 5 different types of transitions in a video. The type that I'll use is like the flash transition. So I have a flash burn. I'll probably attach that or throw it in a file if anybody wants to use that as well. But I use the same one throughout the video. And also too as well, whenever I edit one service before, I open up that in another tab so that rather than trying to search in my files and find the exact timing or transition file, I can just copy and paste the logos, the flashes, and all that straight from the service that I did before, and then throw it in there. And it makes it pretty easy now because I'm not trying to realign it or throw it into my file. So it's always good to open up the past service that you edited before. And like I said, I'll put those probably inside of a bin or upload for other people to use. And as you probably noticed, there's an adjustment layer that I threw on top of everything too as well. That adjustment layer is the color grade for the video because I do shoot in log. So when I shoot, it's in the sharpest mode possible, but it's also in base footage. So like the graphic, the quality is cool, but the color isn't in it as much. So I have a teal orange color grade that I put over it. And that's another one of those things that I copy and paste from a past service because the lighting's usually the same in a room every week. So you can just take the same adjustments that you did for color or color grade and just keep copying and pasting it each week for every video that you edit and use that adjustment layer. At the end of the video, I usually end off with the Light City logo. But prior to that, I usually have like this kind of like a scene that kind of looks semi-emotional or just a good ending. You can, it's really up to you, but always end off like on a good shot that I would believe is a great shot from everything you shot that day. End it off with the logo at the end, and then let the music keep running. And then I also throw a flash on it when it goes from the video to the black screen, and then it just ends off with showing Light City at the end. Now here's the final product.
That has stuck with me and has helped me through this series is that sometimes we undervalue the gifts that God has given us, and that's why we can't recognize when He's given us gifts because we don't see them as gifts.
The importance of using your talent, and where you don't see the talent, like insert the talent where that thing's lying.
That has opened my eyes to pray for God to show me the gifts that I'm undervaluing and bring salvation.
Something that has stuck with me this series is how you can cancel your assignment by your side of your limitations. And that is important to focus on what God can do and not what you can't do.
Promise still stands, say promise.